Tonight we are going to be talking about a couple of trending topics, and we'll have a couple questions for you too. So, anyway, sis, how you been doing? How'd your
I've
week go?
been it's a little bit of both. Like it's so funny because what I'm about to say is something that well, I'll say it. So I've been trying to focus on like enjoying the little moments. But today I completely failed. Like it's a practice, right? It's like yoga. It's a practice. You're not going to be like good at it and win the yoga championship. You just have to keep doing it. It's like meditating. But
Yeah,
so
that
I've
shit
been
takes
trying.
time.
So I've been trying to be focused on like enjoying the little moments. What I mean by that is, you know, we all know people, we've lost people. But I had an experience. One of my coworkers had an experience where she just lost somebody, her brother, and then I have a friend who's sick, and that's kind of hard. And we've all lost like family members and things. It just somehow, I guess, coming out of being sick a few weeks ago, it just kind of dawned on me that like you're missing it. Like it's the little moments. It's the little moments of pockets in the day that if you don't like, stop and look at the fall tree colors and like really enjoy like your cup of coffee or your cup of tea, or like really look forward to like taking a shower, doing the little small things. I feel like if I just continue to, because I was doing this for a long time in my life, and I just go through each day and just charge through the day and just almost like not even experience it because I'm just so busy trying to get to the next thing, get to the next thing, get to the next thing, that I'm not even really experiencing like the true joy of like the
you miss
beautiful
so much.
day.
You miss
I mean,
so like.
so I'm just like I'm really trying to be intentional these days about especially when I feel irritated, just stopping for a second and saying, what is there to take in and enjoy right now? And it could be like the fresh, you know how it smells really good in the morning before like the sun comes up, that fresh morning air. It's nothing like that, right? Or like for me, I know you're not a coffee drinker, but like when I have like a latte or something made for me, sometimes I like go to a really good place, like not like a Starbucks is fine, but like when you go to like a nice like place, like a real place where there's a real barista, and they make your coffee and they make it like they handcraft it and they hand it
Yeah.
to you, and it's like, this is for you. Like no one else is going to drink this but you. So just enjoy every sip that you can. Like that's the little stuff. I'm like, recently, I don't know if you saw this, but like I've realized that like I drink more water when I drink it out of a glass, my little lemon, and sometimes I put mint in there. So I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy drinking out of a glass. It's a completely different experience than drinking out of a water bottle. And
Yeah.
nothing against drinking out of a water bottle, but
You show her some respect when you put it in a glass.
yeah, I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what?
Or
This is
even
my
sometimes just a
glass of
regular
water.
cup, but
Yeah. So I'm just, I'm trying to be more intentional like that. But if I'm being honest, today I failed at that. I literally bumbled my way through all 6 meetings that I had during my workday and put together a presentation, sent a few emails, had to have at least 2 tough conversations. And it was like a day. And literally, just ended like maybe a little over an hour ago. And, still feeling like, man, I wish I could do these 7 more things, which are not really important. But if I keep that mentality moving forward and I'm not getting better at understanding like that I need to enjoy the day, then, that's not good. That's not what I'm trying to do. So
yeah, even stuff like just noticing the leaves changing on the trees, or seeing like something that got my attention today. I was driving or whatever, and it was nice. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, dang, it's November and it still feels like nice.
yes.
But some lady was driving and she had her dog in the car with her or whatever, and the dog was like on her lap, looking out the window and shit. And I was just like, you know what? That's what's up. I wouldn't do it because I can't have you moving around while I'm trying to drive.
Oh my gosh.
But like I understand what you mean by like the little things or whatever. Which might I just interject this? Your girl been working out consistently since August, right? And I like specifically stayed away from getting on the scale because the scale is evil. It lies. One day it say this and the next day it say this. You can't deal with it on a consistent basis, right? So I just started to focus on like the way that I could see my body changing, like the way different clothes were fitting, and like being able to do things that I couldn't do when I first started. And so those were, they're still keeping me going along. But today I got on the scale just out of the
Today.
off chance that maybe something's changed. You know what I mean? And when I looked, I was like, bitch. I was like, you deserve a fucking high five. And so anyway,
yes.
I have
high five to Demeter, everybody. High five to
I've lost some weight and I'm psyched about it. So now I'm like, I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep going. So anyway, I just had to interject that. But let me see if you can see this. Kamisha made us this for the fall. So shout out to Kamisha Reviews. Kamisha Reviews always be coming with the overlays.
Oh my gosh. See, this is exactly the stuff that we should be enjoying in life.
Hey, Monique. Hey, Joba. Hey, Ellen. Sorry, I didn't see the comments.
No, that's all good. I was just saying hey to everybody too in the comments.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna keep this like this because I kind of like it. I like it, so we're going.
No, that's cool. I love it. Hey, listen, that's for everybody to enjoy. If you're gonna watch us, I hope that you enjoy, and that just goes to for everything. Like we hope that you enjoy, and that it starts conversations, amongst you and your loved ones and your friends, and this is
I think the most important thing though, what you said is like we want to spark conversation. You know what I mean? Like we love to talk and we go down different rabbit holes. And a lot of times we will disagree with each other, but then we'll come out on the other end like, well, she told me something I didn't think about or whatever. Even though we still might not agree at the end, we still had a great conversation. You know what I mean? So I really want to focus on that. Starting conversations. What else did you say?
No, I mean,
I want to piggyback on. No, I hope that you enjoy us. Like, I don't want people to come over here thinking, something negative. I want them to be thinking, I want to go over here because I know they're going to be talking shit and they probably going to have something interesting to say. So hopefully that's what we give you guys. But anyway, welcome into our space.
Yes, welcome. I should turn this. Well, I can't turn my volume down, but anyway, sorry. I don't know if y'all heard that message that just came through. Anyway, if you did, then let's do it. It's so funny. I was filming last night, and James was filming his show, and I was like thinking to myself, like, oh well, I can't film if he's filming, and then I realized, like, yes, I can. Wait, can I see me? Can you see me?
I can see you. I
don't know. Oh, okay. I just see the leaves for some reason.
Anyway, let me take them away real quick and see what happens.
As long as people can see.
What about now? Can you see yourself?
But you know what? That was
you can
not
see yourself now.
Yeah, I can see both of us, but I can't see the leaves.
So now you can't see yourself.
Now I can see both of us and the leaves.
Okay.
But what's funny?
What's happening?
Because I
like the leaves, but if it gets on y'all nerves, let us know because then I'll take them away. But shout out to Kamisha Reviews because that's all her. So anyway.
I don't even say again.
I said on with the show.
onward. I was just saying that I was filming last night for my other channel, and I was thinking to myself, like, oh man, like James was filming in the next room, and I had my whole setup like right there on the island, and I was like, it's no way that I could really film this. It was like a planner thing, so I needed to have that like big flat surface. And I was like, man, I'm going to have to do this later. And then I was like, no, I'm not. So I put in some headphones, and I was thinking, like, even if they can hear in the background, which I listened to it back, and you could hear somebody talking in the background, but it wasn't like bad. It was just like you could hear somebody. And I was just like, it's not perfect. We don't have our professional studio yet. This is what it is.
That's life.
I'm just going to teach everybody in life how to ignore their husband when they're talking.
I cannot tell you how many times I've like recorded a video where other stuff was going on. Like you just gotta
get on with it. Like, it's fine. Like, there's so many things that we, in your mind, especially when you're trying to start something or create something, there's so many things in your mind that are like, oh, but what about this? No, you can't do it. You know what I mean? It's like, no, what if I did it anyway? Like, what if it was just a little bit imperfect? And like, even when I watched the video back and I was trying to edit it, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, but you could see the shadow of the whatever. And I'm like, but you could still see what I'm doing. Like, yeah, it's not perfect, but like, and I'm not trying to be like, shitty or whatever, but in my mind, I was thinking to myself, like, if somebody's expecting me to be perfect and they're coming to my channel, guessing me unicorn, divine perfection, they can go ahead and just hang that up, go somewhere else. So I almost feel like at this point, because like you always notice that kind of stuff when
it's yours.
When it's yours.
Because if I'm watching a video, I watch all sorts of people. I watch people that like to film with a bunch of shit that they don't give a fuck what's going on in the background. And I watch people who take great care in their background. You know what I'm saying? But if your message is your message, or you have the information that I'm looking for, then I will overlook that. However, I do think that it should be some type of like,
oh gosh,
standard of,
there should be some sort of standard.
But if it's something small, like when Earl was here, he would be playing PlayStation, and you might, a couple of my videos probably have an outburst from him in it, of while he was playing, but it wasn't taking away from my video or whatever. But I think that you can do something as perfect as you would like it to be, and somebody out there still will point out something wrong. So that's another reason why you can't really go for the perfection. You need to, just do it, and do it in your way. So anyway,
like, this is what was happening. Sorry. I'm not even sorry.
It's life. Like, whose background is like pristine, elaborate, like, quiet.
When is there ever just like complete silence for several, you know what I mean? Like, we're just gonna have to get over the perfection thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just never gonna be that way. And if it is, great, I'll take that day by surprise. But
never gonna present itself.
It's just not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna move on with it, and I'm just not gonna let myself fall into the trap of like, oh, I can't do it now because it's not perfect. Like, it's never going to be perfect. So this is the amount of perfect, like, this is the amount of good it's going to be for now. And I'm going to take that. Thanks.
Yeah, because then you have something that you can work on. Like, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, everybody that starts to do something, people might already know how to play basketball when they get selected for the team. At some point, they had to start somewhere and get better, right? And so I was like, you know what? We do let ourselves get talked out of things strictly by fear of our own doing. Like, most of that shit is not even happening, but it's in your mind,
not even real.
It's not even real, right? False evidence appearing real. So once you could get over, to be like, you know what, I'm about to do this, or whatever, for whatever it is, then you will be surprised. You give yourself something to work on. Like, it might not be perfect, but this is my thing, right? And guess what? Because I have my thing right now, in 6 months, how much greater could it be? But if I don't have it, I just have an idea. I can talk to you all day long and be like, oh yeah, this idea is getting greater and greater, but you don't have anything tangible that I can see growing, right? And so like I feel like the fear part is what talks us. It's the devil. It'd be like, nah, you can't do this, and you just got to be like, I can try, and then go forward like that. Because I'm telling you, back to my little workout things. When I used to be in the military, when I used to be in high school, like, I was athletic. But then after I had a baby, I don't know, somewhere along the way, I kind of chilled out a little bit on the workout stuff. And I did get fat, you know what I'm saying? And so for a long time, I just tried to lose weight, but I was never really consistent like I should have been. And I know that. But so when I started out, I couldn't do regular push-ups like that no more, which in the military, in my 20-year-old body, I could do a bunch of push-ups in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? I remember specifically doing a stand-up push-up. A stand-up sit-up. And this is what this is. I was on the floor in the sit-up position. There was a guy that had his arms around my calves, and I was supposed to stand up all the way up, do a sit-up and stand all the way up. And I could bust out like 5 of those, right? I couldn't do that ever now, but sit-ups was a problem for me. Push-ups was a problem for me. And like just anything like with a lot of that I needed a lot of endurance for, right? So now I'm noticing I can, I could go longer on the things that are cardio. I can, lift heavier things than I was. And I can do things like as far as like, how they have variations of sit-ups and push-ups and stuff like that, little ab things or whatever. I can do things that I could not do before. So last night I had like sized myself up because I was like, look at you. While I was in the class, I was just like, look at you. You're doing it.
That's right. I know
and I was just like, yeah, we did that. And you know what I'm saying? And like, So anyway, my point is, had I never started, I would have just been sitting here thinking about, oh yeah, I could do this exercise
Well,
if
one
I
day I might be able
once
to
a day.
write.
But the
But
more
no,
you
that's
do, the
funny.
more you can do. So it's the same thing with like entrepreneurship and things like that. You can sit on your idea all day long, but you need to get it out so you can start perfecting it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least like evolving it. Like the first iPhone,
Evolving and
you know what I'm
growing it.
saying? They didn't know what the fuck they were going to go for the iPhone 14, but now they have something to tweak. So that's what I think it's all about, something to tweak. So anyway, let
Something
me
to
get off my
tweak.
soapbox.
Oh, I love it. Hashtag something to tweak. Hashtag something to tweak. Don't twerk, tweak. I love it. That's a t-shirt right there. Tweak, don't twerk.
I like
Or
that though.
twerk
Tweak,
too.
don't
Go ahead,
twerk.
twerk too if you got it like
I
that.
like that.
But
Tweak, don't twerk.
it's a couple of things that's so funny to me that you just said. Number one, when you said, yeah, my 20-year-old body. Okay, first of all, let's have that moment. My 20-year-old body could do a lot of things, but my 20-year-old brain was dumb as hell.
Okay,
And I would rather have this body and this brain than to be walking around like, how did I even survive? How stupid I was. I wasn't like, I just gotta clap it up that I'm still alive right now. Some of the stuff that I pulled off, and I'm laughing because,
oh my God,
like, I remember when COVID hit, and I was like, all of the dumb shit I did in my 20s just to come to this. Oh, I'm not dying from this shit. Like all of the shit I survived, and like I literally remember thinking that, like, oh, this ain't gonna happen to me. So what's funny is that the 20-year-old body comment is gonna forever be a joke. And then the other thing that I sometimes you just have these thoughts and then they're fleeting. Same thing like what I said like earlier when I was like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy every moment, and then that just didn't happen today. Sometimes when I think to myself like, oh, I could never do that, I think about some of the people who probably thought that and did it anyway. So like sometimes to motivate myself, I think about like what Beyonce would have been if she just decided like, oh, there's so many singers out there, I'll never make it, right? And it's just like, and then we wouldn't have a Beyonce. She would be working at like Walgreens or something. Or I mean, she's smarter than that. Maybe she would be like I don't know. What would Beyonce be, guys? You got to give me this. She might be a teacher, or she might be a nurse. Her cousin's a nurse, or she might be like a seamstress. Her mom was a seamstress. Or you know what? She might do hair. She might be one of those people that do some bomb ass hair and makeup. But like, what would Beyonce be if she just decided like, oh, I don't think I'm going to make it, so never mind. There's so many singers out there. Like, I'm never going to be like Janet Jackson or something. So I might as well just hang it up. It's just like, you just start and you just try. Or even like, and this one just really hits home and it leads us into our first topic. And this person actually said this. So Barack Obama, I remember when he was running for president and people were like, yeah, he's great and all, but is he really going to be president? I mean, he's Black. Like, nobody's ever going to vote. Come on, listen, how far are we taking this? Like, sure, he can try, but like, how likely is it that he's going to win? And like, everybody was thinking like, now that it's happened, we're all like, every time I see Barack or Michelle, I get happy inside, like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
hey,
and
Jeremy. Hey, Tasa G.
They were in office. Hey, Tasa G. Yes, Walgreens. What would Beyonce be doing if she wasn't Beyonce? If she just decided
anything, actually. I mean, I'm
not trying to play her by saying Walgreens. What did you say?
I can see her still doing something in entertainment, like maybe, if she would have decided to just be a backup dancer or whatever, like who knows? But it goes back to the fear thing. Like she didn't let her fear talk her out of it. She just figured out what she needed to do and she just kept doing it, which is my point. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You have to get off of it and do it, even if you don't think it's perfect, because you'll be able to work on it as it goes along. Like that's with everything. Even like, I don't want to get back on that soapbox, but even like with your job, like when you first start, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Yeah, you know what your skill set is, but you don't know these people. You don't know what kind of work environment is going to be, how it's going to affect your job. But then as you go along, you learn how to fit that jump to yourself, and you like, oh, I got this. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
Anyway,
no, that's what's up. And so, no, you're good. This is great. That's exactly what we're talking about here, because it's so easy. For some reason, the negative part of your brain is so much easier to access than it is to access the positive part, or the part that's entertaining the idea that you could actually be successful. And so I bring up Barack Obama because I'm sharing this moment that happened. I guess it happened like a few days ago, like last week, because we're in the midterms and Barack Obama's on the campaign trail. I love this moment. This is Jeezy and Barack Obama.
That is tight.
I didn't tell you beforehand.
They look good.
Why I love this moment. Okay, first of all, let's just talk about how many great things about this right now. First of all, they both look good. Okay, they both look good. So everybody knows about Jeezy's song. I think Jay-Z was on it. It was a couple other people. My President's Black, My Lambo's Blue. And he made that song before the actual he actually won the presidency, because I remember they were playing it on the night of the election. And I remember people, for some reason, I'm not trying to call this person out, but I remember 50 Cent saying something earlier on in the campaign, and a lot of people did, like, yeah, okay, that's cool, I love him, but there's no way he's never gonna make it to be president. Like, come on, like, let's get real, guys. We live in America. Like, we're not gonna have a black president. And like, people were saying that. You know what I'm saying?
People were saying the same thing about Trump too.
Oh God, why you gotta take it there?
I know. I don't even know why I mentioned that.
No, I'm joking. No, what's funny is this. Okay, because this is what's funny about this. He decided to go anyway, and even Michelle was thinking to herself at one point. I remember she said this in an interview. She probably said it in her book, I think, was that she was like, all right, go ahead and run. I know this is what you want to do, so I'm not going to stand in your way. And if you do it, it's only going to be for 8 years, and then we'll get our lives back, right? But it's that idea that, like, okay, like, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but you got to try. And these are the things that happen in life that if you never tried, you would never know. If he would have just said, or listened to people that said, oh, you'll never be president because you're black and we're just not there as a nation. Like, it's just not going to happen. Just don't even waste your time. That would have been an easy thing to just kind of like swallow and accept. But something in him was just like, I've got to see this thing through. And that's the kind of energy that I want to be having. So
I mean, but honestly, that really is like what the decision is. It's like you just deciding to be like, I don't care what you say. I'm going to at least try. You know what I mean?
Let's see how far I can get. Like, I might not make it, but let's see. And so the thing that I love about this for sure, though, is that he knows that song. And so it's like
I bet they play it on a regular basis.
It's like when you see somebody and you automatically have a moment in your mind. I'm sure every time he sees Jeezy, he's like, oh yeah, and here's the song. That's what I like to think about that. Maybe they even have a deeper relationship within that. But like, this is just joy to me because I see the song. I hear the song when I see them.
Oh, goodness.
Wait, what did he say? Yeezy ankles?
Hey, Gwendolyn, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. That is so nice. Oh, okay. Tasa G says she thinks Beyonce would have been an administrative assistant. I could see that. I could see her being like a bomb, like logistics director or something. Like, really, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think, like, she would still like probably have her weave and her makeup right, and she would dress well. It's just that she just gave up on her dream. That's all. Like, I'm still fabulous. You know what I'm saying? And then she would have to have all of these conversations and explain to people like, oh yeah, I can sing. Yeah, I just don't.
Right. She would just be that person that sings everywhere. Like that girl that was singing in Target that time for the holidays. Did I send you that?
Yes, and she was singing like a Mariah Carey song.
To me, yeah. Yep.
I was like, what are you doing, lady? What are you doing in the Target? Like, you need to be touring. But
Jay said that's on his playlist. I know it's on his playlist. It gotta be. They look cool though. I love to see it. Love to see it.
I love to see it too. So I'm gonna go. So here's the thing, guys. We got some tough topics to get through. Tonight. But what I'm gonna try to do, we're gonna try to kind of like bouncing back and forth. So we'll talk about some good stuff, and then we'll talk about some not so good stuff. And but they're conversations that we probably should be having. Like it's just, that's where we are with things. Okay, so the next topic is actually Kanye. Somebody said Kanye earlier. We're talking about Kanye ankles. I don't really know what that actually meant. I think it was because Jeezy's
Did you
pants.
see Jeezy's shoes?
Yeah, they were like laced up. Okay, let me go back to that. Yeah, I see. Jeezy's shoes were like, okay, I see. They were like, I get it.
He got
They
them
did look
ankles like he got
like
on.
Kanye.
I don't know. I don't know. They look good.
So
He looks
this is a
good
good
with
segue because
shaking hands with the president, though.
one of the things that I don't understand about
Oh
this
gosh.
Kanye fashion thing is like the shoes that he
Oh.
makes, in my opinion, are not good looking. Like it's like there's no way that I would spend that much money on a shoe anyway. But I don't say there's no way. There is a way. But for those, I feel like where were we going with that? Where I don't want to say anything so super mean or whatever, but like my thinking is like, why does it didn't look good to me? It doesn't, it's just not my style, right? So I could say that. Like some people like that and that's fine for them. But I just didn't ever understand that. And for them to be so expensive, I felt like it was one of those like acquired taste type things where people are like eating snails. Snails are not delicious. They just can't be, right? But you're eating it because someone told you it was a delicacy. Like, oh, let me just try a snail. Like, who told you to try a snail? Like, if you never tried a snail and you're now
I've
trying it, it's
never
got to
tried
be
a
because
snail.
somebody told you to. Somebody suggested it. And that's how I think Kanye's shoes are. In my mind, I'm just like, why are you wearing that? Like, like because somebody told you it was a delicacy. And I'm not going for it. So
It's
anyway,
like who was making the trash bag purses that look like Glad trash bags? I can't remember who was whether
I
who was
don't
it. I don't know
I
who it
don't remember
was.
that. And I mean, like, some things are a fad or whatever, but like, I've just always been the kind of person that, like, if I like it for me. And I honestly, like, I've always been a little weird. So I've always liked things that people weren't necessarily into. But I just was not into that Kanye fashion. Like, it just looked super weird to me. But anyway, I wanted to get on Kanye for another second or for another reason rather, because everybody knows this whole timeline of him kind of like, I don't know if he's having an episode or what's happening, but he had the White Lives Matter shirts and then went on to go and wreak a bunch of havoc talking about, you know, Jewish people or whatever. Like I literally purposely did not follow the entire story because it just got to be just a bit much. And it's like, okay, I have a life of my own. Like you're all here doing whatever you're doing. And I don't honestly know. He could be having an episode, or he, that might have been what was happening. But like, I don't have to take care of him, so I had to like
I'm
hang
not
that
gonna
up
read the
for a
watch
second. Like,
Kanye.
he's not my brother.
Oh
So
my god.
so I don't have to worry about him that hard. So I mean, condolences to whatever he's going through, but I had to like shut it off for a bit. So then I tuned back in to where now he's apologizing. So first he came back out and apologized to Jewish people after he lost all of these relationships with businesses. Like I think Adidas dropped him, like everybody was just cutting ties with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the comments that they call anti-Semitic, which I don't even know what they were, honestly. Like I saw some things, but I couldn't really trace back what he actually said. It was just like echoes of what people said he said. So like I honestly don't even know exactly what he said, but he then went to apologize for the anti-Semitic marks that he was accused of making. And I did hear what he said on Drink Champs about George Floyd. I did witness that with my own 2 ears, and I was not pleased with that. But like I said, I don't, I'm not responsible for him. And then he comes out a few days ago with this apology, and I listened to the apology, and it just made me. I was just like, man, just go have a seat. He basically was like, yeah, I just want to apologize to the Black community for, you know, what I said about George Floyd because I now know what it's like to have a knee on my neck. I just felt like, no, you don't. Like, you're not experiencing that. Like, you might think you're experiencing that financially, but like, that's your business and your deal, but that you don't know what it's like to have a real knee on your neck to your death. So I just felt like that was yet another slap in the face to people who are actually going through things. And I'm not saying he's not going through things, but it was just like, I just need to turn him off. Like, I just need him to go away. I need people to stop trying to interview him. I need him to have several seats and then a few more until he could just get himself together, and then perhaps he can be entertained again.
See, the problem is that he's, we don't know what's going on. Like, we don't know if he's having an episode, because every time something happens, people speculate with that. But it's like, I feel like he's doing these rounds that he's been doing and talking like this because I feel like he did want to get out of those contracts. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there was a better way to do it, but now it's like, we don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on. People are still, behind him or whatever, but I don't know what's going on, Kanye. I don't know what's happening, because the George Floyd comment is right on par with that Harriet Tubman comment. So it's like, are you doing this on purpose to?
Wait, what Harriet Tubman comment?
Well, he said that well, not Harriet Tubman comment, but he was
the slavery comment.
Slavery was a choice. I don't
know
why.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Oh yeah, I know why
that made me think of Harriet Tubman, but yeah. So like, I don't really know. Like, I know that with this entertainment world, there's a layer that we will never be privy to. You know what I mean? It's just, like, you turn on the TV, you only get a snippet of what's going on. We don't know what else is a factor in this whole equation. You know what I mean? So all we have to go off is what we see in the media. You know what I mean? And what he does with that. And like I always say, these people are famous. They don't sit around and be like, what does Demeter think, or what does Faith think, or I don't want to hurt her feelings or whatever. They're just like, listen, I don't know you fuckers, and I have a goal to get to, or I'm trying to accomplish this one thing.
Yeah,
you guys really don't matter, but I got to do this so that I can get to that. I wouldn't put it past them to just be doing certain things.
Yeah,
for that, like, and then to us it just looks like this, because maybe it's done like that by design, because we ignore stuff like that when it happens over and over. You know what I'm saying? Just like the other thing that we're going to talk about, it kind of fades into the background, and now we're not listening. As a whole, we're not listening to him. We're just like, okay, you've come out here and given us all these like crazy messages, and now we just don't know when to come to your aid.
Like, where are we going? That's what I think about
right here. Just Jay, I agree. It's like you get to a point where you just like, oh well, I'm done trying to figure out what you're doing, because I don't know, Kanye. I don't know, because we tried to tell him not to get with Kim. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he wanted to get out of those deals though, but I don't know what the end game is here. I don't know, because the whole thing, I would go back to the Sway conversation. You know what I mean? He tried to tell him that he didn't need those people, right, to do what he wanted to do. So maybe he could still do it, but then, like, you have brought up a question, like, who's still gonna buy his stuff or whatever? I mean, nobody, if he's gonna keep on putting out like Just Jay said, vagabond stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't know. At this point in 2022, I don't fucking know. A long time ago, I felt like I had shit figured out, but now I'm like, anything can happen. So I don't know. Like, if he
said
president, I'm gonna be like really mind blown.
If he becomes president,
messes around and becomes president, I'm gonna be really
hell no.
Listen, the only reason I say that is because I had no faith in Trump. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was like a joke at first, and it really happened. I think for the first couple of weeks or months,
I was shocked.
Like, for real?
Is this really happening?
Really? So I don't know at this point. Like, I wanted to think that Kanye was, had some great master plan that we just didn't understand.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to just be like,
Bruh.
somebody gonna need to help me out with something. So I don't know. But that, yeah, you're right. The apology is just like, so you came out here and you said this and you saw the backlash, and now you got to come back out and clean it up. And this isn't the first thing that you've done. So you're still not thinking before you utilize the media. He's one of the people in the world that if people like, if he talks, billions of people are going to be listening because they're going to make sure we hear it.
Well, so far.
So if you know you have that, you know what I'm saying? If you know you have that effect, you can't abuse it like this. So it's just like, now I don't know.
Now it's like,
because I have no idea what he's doing.
Now I feel like he's been known for saying things that were sort of like outrageous for years. And listen, here's the thing that's really, not sitting well with me is, and not everything he says is wrong, right? Like, it's just been these recent past few weeks that I've really just been like, okay, what are you talking about? Because he said things like that in the past, but they haven't been as close together and as like sort of loud.
Well, he hasn't done a lot of interviews in the past. Now he's doing a lot.
He's doing a lot. I think that's what it is. He's doing a lot. And I don't know if there's anyone around him that's able to like really like rein him in and be like, hey, look, what are you going for? But, at the same time, maybe he's not even having an episode. And maybe, there's another situation in where he could be doing this on purpose to have gotten out of those contracts. It's a lot happening here. But to your point, I just feel like, I don't want to say this like everything he's ever said has been BS, because I don't believe that. I think that he has, said some things that make a lot of sense to me in the past, but not in these past couple of weeks. Like it's just hitting a little off.
Your father is team Kanye. He's team Ye, and
yeah,
and that alone makes me question the whole thing of, I'm not gonna go there, but I'll just leave it there. Your father's team Ye.
Yeah, let's table that discussion.
But a broken clock is right twice a day. So I don't know, man. I really like to root for everybody black, like Issa Rae said, but
yeah.
Like, I don't wish any bad on him, but I just want him to get it together. I want somebody to come help him get it together. You know what I mean?
Now that's a good point too. Ye thought he could talk about the Jewish folks, and they showed him that basically that he can't, right? Mm-hmm. Now he wants to talk to black people. Well, so yeah, I think he went all the way out there and thought, I'm just going to offend everybody and I can get away with it, right? I'm just speculating here.
That's crazy, though. That's crazy. I mean, but if that's the only thing we can draw from the things that he's done, I mean.
But yeah, let's also understand and see that nobody pulled his deals when he talked about George Floyd. They only started pulling his deals when he talked about others. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he's, 100% correct or anything like that, but that is something to note. Moving right along, and we're just gonna go into this because this is another sad thing. So the next couple of topics are going to be a little sad, but we feel like, it's only right that we address it. And these are conversations that, we are not aspiring to solve issues in this one little conversation between us tonight, but it's something that,
Wait, hold on, time out. What? There's two guys that brought the trademark to White Lives Matter.
See,
I did not see that.
So when you put stuff out there like that, like Kanye put out there, right? Thank you, Ellen, for that. But see, this is the issue, because when you put something out there like a White Lives Matter, and then you have a black person or two black people putting it out there, then it gives other people
see, that's crazy.
Sort of like authority to copy. It's just like, well, I just copied it I just said it because he said it. And it's just like, maybe you've been saying it this whole time, but you knew not to say it. But now that Kanye has said it and that other lady said it, now it's like, oh, well, I can say it too. See, they said it. And that's the sort of thing.
So now Kanye can't make money off of it.
Huh. Well, maybe that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
He
I
don't
don't
need
know.
to. He was tripping on that. And Just Jay says, I honestly think that Kim was the one that really kept him from getting messed up. Now he not under her, covering her like that no more. That's true. And I didn't want to think that, but that is how it looks. Like, bruh,
It's
he needs to get it
possible.
together.
It's possible.
Yep. All right. So now I'm sorry. You can go back to
Oh no, so
let's
yeah,
play.
we're gonna have to talk about this because these are bigger conversations. These are bigger conversations than our conversation, but it is something that you know has to be addressed at some point, and we don't have any solutions. We're just kind of like talking about what happened and the reactions, and
So,
how we're dealing and all that. So
and
everybody
we haven't,
knows.
I'm sorry.
Let me just say the thing, and then you can go right into it. Everybody has probably heard by now that I think it was Monday night. It was Halloween night because I woke up to it on Tuesday. That Takeoff Amigos was fatally shot at a place called like Billiards and bowling billiards or something in Houston. I did not even believe it when I saw it. I was like, oh no, somebody's got this wrong, right? Like it was somebody else, right? I don't know why I didn't believe it. And it's not even like I'm some huge Migos fan. I literally obviously know their songs because they're so successful. Their songs have been everywhere. Like that one we talked about, Walk It Like I Talk It.
Walk it like I talk. Yes.
My jam, right? And I think the first song I ever heard from them was Bad and Bougie. And then I think that was their song too, Versace, right? So I really enjoy and like, I don't know these people, but you kind of get a vibe from people when you see them and you see how they move. And Takeoff just seems so chill. Everybody's saying that knew him too. So I feel comfortable in thinking like that my assessment was correct. He just seemed like the person that was so chill and was just there to have a good time. It's like we all have the friends that just kind of like be in the background, like, yeah, they're there, they want to be there, they're having fun, but they're just like, yeah, I'm not gonna be the guy in the front. I'm not gonna be all flashy. I'm just here. I got my little drink and my two-step and I'm chilling in the background. He gave me that vibe. Gave me that real chill vibe. Also, I noticed through several interviews and stuff, media clips that I have watched over the years that I felt like he was really funny. There was this one thing he did on the Breakfast Club where he everything he said as a response in the interview was like an ad lib from I think one of their songs. And at first you couldn't really understand what was happening, but then he was just like kept saying stuff, and then the other two guys were laughing at Quavo and Offset were laughing like uncontrollably, and I was like, what is he doing? That's when he kind of like I settled in, like, oh, he's doing this. And it was around the time, and I don't know this for sure, but what I think he was doing was making the point that like you know, all of our lyrics are, because people used to say like, oh, you can make a Migos song, all you need to do is say this and say that and put a beat to it and it's a Migos song. And it was like right around the time that I was hearing that, so I think he was just kind of like making fun of that, making a point that like I'm just gonna say the ad libs and whatever. But anyway, wanted to just wish him a RIP, but it's sad that this keeps happening in this community where somebody, it kind of reminded me of the Nipsey Hussle death, because it's like whoever was shooting, like, not that anybody else deserved to get shot, but like when somebody like this dies, it just makes you realize like this is so stupid and senseless. Like, how is it that this person got shot out of all the people who could have possibly been in a situation, right? It's so nonsensical. Like, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So it's just like, were y'all just shooting anybody? Like, how did this one get it? You know what I mean?
So,
like,
okay, I want to say that we have not done any research on this. Well, I won't say that. We've basically just been seeing people's reactions and looking at what the news, TMZ has put out, and just listening to different people's takes on it or whatever. So we've heard a bunch of things, but we are gonna have to like look further into the situation to get all facts. But I don't want to be like showing the video. I don't want to be reading through the articles. I feel like we should just talk about the stuff that people are saying,
Yeah.
starting off with the type of person that he was, because like Just Jay said, he seems like he was the least problematic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, he wasn't in no drama. A lot of people, like you said, that are celebrities that have talked about him are saying, he was a peaceful dude, he was cool or whatever. And it's also been said that okay, so it's been said that neither one of them were in the altercation, that they were in the middle of it. Apparently, somebody also said that Quavo wasn't fighting the person, or maybe he was trying to make peace between two other groups or whatever, but we don't know. Which one of the things that sticks in my mind is, like, it's 2022, we got cameras everywhere now. One, I don't feel like the person who was videotaping it, I don't know what they were doing, but I feel like just the stationary cameras in places should have caught something, right? The footage is weird to me. And I don't know what was the point to record it? Like, what were you waiting for something to happen, or was it you were trying to record the conversation or whatever? Because we couldn't. It's confusing. Like, it doesn't. The footage don't make sense to me as far as the person recording it, because, like, usually it's like a main thing that you're focusing on. Either you can hear voices clearly or you can see something. Fingers kept going in the way, so I was just like, "What is this?" So I was just interested from that alone. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we're just gonna kind of talk about what we've been hearing, and you guys can chime in on that as well. Go ahead, Faith. I'm
The
sorry. I'm
Plains
a
Jane
read.
said,
Let me read.
hey,
Hey,
Plains
Plains
Jane.
Jane.
She was
What's
saying that
going on, lady?
and thank you, Just Jay. Yeah, it is a bunch of facts out there, or facts. I'm gonna just put quotation marks on that, because there's a lot of people saying things. I wanted to just talk about the reaction of people. So first of all, one thing that was really bothersome to me was to see that people who were there took and posted photos of his body, like where you could, it was blurred out, but you could see like blood and stuff. And it's just like, what? Why would you think that's a good thing to do? That's not cool. That is not okay. Whoever, whoever thinks that's a good idea, do like really rethink that. That is never a good idea. Even if you decided to take the photos or take footage of that, that's something you keep to yourself. Nobody wants to remember him like that. Even
Nobody wants to see that.
It's sad enough that we lost a person like this to gun violence, but nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. They did the same thing with Nipsey too, but it's like that's the sick thing already in itself, because it's like that's just not what that's not what this is. That's not what people want.
So, Pete, though, right? We live in a society where everybody wants to see everything. Now, I beg to not only want to say I beg to differ, because I don't want to see that at all. Mm-hmm. But I bet you that a lot of people have been desensitized by a lot of the stuff that we've seen in the last decade, and those things don't faze them. Just like a while ago, somebody was like, there were these videos going around about somebody's shooting themselves or whatever, but like we're hearing more of these things happening on live, and that's so disrespectful, because you want to put that into my atmosphere. I'm not trying to wake up and see that, right? So I really did a great job of not seeing any of this. I watched people who did commentary on it that showed the videos that didn't show anything graphic, because at the same time, these are real people. They were all real fucking family, and like I would not want to get up and see this stuff play over and over and over again to the magnitude that they're showing the body. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about it, but no, you cannot. But like I said, I think people have been desensitized, and like it doesn't register, because what should go off in my mind is like, if it was an accident, or not, somebody still lost their life, but it's like, how we gonna fix this? Because we don't even know how this happened, but across the world, things like this are happening. You know what I mean? Not even just by accident, but just the fact that you know, people pick up guns more than they want to put their fists up these
Yeah.
days or whatever. So it's like, where do we start with that? Because now we have a celebrity who's not the only person who's been like the victim of gun violence, but it's a sad case because out of, you know, if you're talking about people who deserve it, he didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? So it's like, what is going on? Then I just can't help to think of how Offset and Quavo must feel because Quavo was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure it was horrible. And I'm sure it's something that he's never going to forget. It's something that's probably staying in his memory forever. And just to think how life can just slip right through your fingers. And one minute somebody's here, and then the next, it's just this unthinkable, unbelievable thing just happened. And moments like that, like I know of having lost people close to us, that you just think about, like, not that it's possible, but like going back in time, like, man, just last week, you know, or even sometimes like just last year, this time, I was just talking to this person, and man, and it all, you know, it's like this a part of like grievance is like denial and stuff like that. But when something like that happens and it's traumatic and it's not like an accident or a sickness, and you witness somebody lose their life and they're so close to you, that I can only imagine, like, I hope he's getting some, you know, or going to get some therapy, because that's just such a traumatic thing to witness. You
I
know,
mean, yeah, because in general, death is sad for us because we're here without the person, right? But it's like it's even more sad when it's like,
yeah, that's
what?
his nephew.
It's not a natural cause. This person that didn't live 80, 90 years. This person wasn't sick. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. You know, and I always think as a mother, I'm like, bruh, I always just try to stay away from stuff like this. And I just send positive vibes to the family because
Positive vibes to the family for sure. I just want to, you know,
but I do have to say this though.
triple that down.
I do have to say this though because, you know, I cannot deny that it's something sinister in the entertainment world. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether, who knows what it is, but it's just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But maybe if it's on a bigger screen, then people will pay more attention.
Mm.
I don't know. But like I said, there's also a layer that we don't see. We don't know what was going on behind the scenes. I watched somebody's video. I watched somebody break down the video, but they, like I said, they weren't showing like graphics, but somebody in the comments had mentioned that they felt like he looked a little scared when on somebody's there was a video that they showed on somebody's Instagram story. And so it's like, damn, once you start getting down in the weeds like that, like like I told you, I watched this I don't even know if I want to like say who I watched, but if anybody else watched it, they will know. But I watched this video of this person break down the video. You know what I'm saying? Like frame by frame by frame by frame. He found everybody that was at that fucking dice table or at that bowling alley on Instagram. So, but that goes to show you that you cannot hide out here. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, it's gonna be found out, and we don't know what the outcome is gonna be. But it's just like we got to get it together because, like, it's cameras everywhere, and if not cameras everywhere, everybody has a phone. You never know where your shit might pop up on the internet. You know
This
what I'm
is
saying?
true. This is true. And kind of going off of that, you know, just take it to the, let's play both sides here. The same way that I said, I don't want to see that footage of the body. I stand by that. But we're in a different time now. So I definitely agree with your comment about things being sinister.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Ellen, I've heard a couple of things about different, you know, different scenarios that could have taken place, like that it was a hit or that
Okay, so
somebody
I'll
else
say
set
this
it up.
part. To this comment, I'll say this. There is a part in the video, in some of the footage, where it looks like somebody got hit and then they hit somebody back. That's what it looked like. But we were all looking at the legs and how everything was going. Somebody got hit and then either he fell, which I don't think he fell. I think that he hit somebody back. But that's that he was standing right in the area that Quavo was in. But it's so crazy because if you think about all the shit that the police got to do, they got to go over this footage. They have to like go over different scenarios of what happened. You know what I mean? But the thing about 2022 is that we can all look at this with you, but then I just don't trust footage. You know what I'm saying? Like I trust footage, but I want all the footage. I don't want
Right.
like, like when I go out, I mean, it's 2022. Like we all know how to point a camera and get what we need to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just don't understand how we still getting footage on situations that we can't really see everything on. Like, what the fuck was you recording? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. But see, this is where I was going to go with that too, because it's one thing when you're getting the footage that's released from the media or the police department and they're saying, oh, this is the only footage, right? But like when you have people with their phones out and you got to think like this is a situation where there's celebrities there, it's like a party or whatever, like people were probably recording just for the sake of recording. And it wasn't like they were recording a shooting. It was like I was just recording because it was Quavo and Takeoff, right? And I just had my phone out. So there could be people out there who have footage that has not even surfaced.
So peep this, right? I get that. I do. And when I record shit, I be wanting to record it so I can go and look at it later. So when I record it, I'm gonna make sure I get the shit that I need to get. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like I've recorded people up from distances before, like where Earl goes to play on the football thing. I record, you know what I'm saying, the field thing. So I'm like, you are right there. Like, I don't get why you can't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking too much into it, but I just feel like it's not. It's just weird.
It's weird. Like, and this one hit different. This one hit a little different. I'm not saying that other people deserve to die, but when somebody like this is a victim of what we're, of gun violence, it's just so exhausting. It just makes you like, wow, like what is happening, man? So I don't know. This was sad.
So yeah, but it is.
It's good that we're having this conversation because I think these are conversations that we all need to have consistently because I don't know, we at the end of the day, we don't know what happened. We don't know if it was some sort of, accident or if it was set up or if it was a fight first or if it was, we don't know because we weren't there. But these things happen so often that some of it has to be preventable. And so it's time to start taking a look at
That's the thing. Like, okay, you can't tell me that this event wasn't secured. You have these important people here and they were with other important people, right? And so, like, I don't understand, you know what I'm saying? But so, like, allegedly, sounds so funny saying that or whatever, but I was watching Storm Monroe. I think I sent you the clip of that. And he had done a couple of videos on it, but somebody called in, and I don't know how they vet who the people that are calling in and talking or whatever. So I don't know the lady, but she said she was there. She said that the Prince family knows her, so she didn't want to identify herself. But she said that
this must be who Just Jay is talking about.
Let me see.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
But okay, people talking about somebody used that Chucky doll as a muzzle. I was looking at that Chucky doll like a weird thing too when I saw it. The woman calling into the show, telling all these details. Yes, she close to the family, but she dry snitching. It just don't make sense. But he's gone. It's not gonna bring him back, so I'm just trying to let it be.
Yeah.
Okay, talk. So let me piggyback on that. That also like I watch so much YouTube. Like I said, for everything, cooking, fixing stuff, drama, mystery, you know what I'm saying? There's hella crime and mystery on YouTube, okay? And so I've seen people stitch together narratives and make the shit look believable. Now, I'm not saying this is fake. This man has lost his life. However, that doesn't let me not think of how people, there's only a few elements that you need to grasp the viewers to believe what's going on. Right. And then you'll have this group that'll stand up and be like, no, because you're not going to talk about this because this is blah, blah, blah. And no. And then now we're fighting amongst each other. But it's like the cryptic information that we have to go off of. So it's just crazy to me. Like I said, it's 2022. We can figure out how to do so many things. Like Like I can order DoorDash, or I can order on the mobile app for McDonald's right now, but those motherfuckers will know when I'm there and they know when I'm not. So you mean to tell me that they got, they can talk to the GPS that well, but we can't figure out how to get clear footage on street cameras or clear footage on people, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's really odd. You're absolutely right.
I just always give stuff like this to side eye because I've seen a lot go on, and I just think that it's unfortunate, but it does send a very loud message that honestly, sadly, and I know a lot of people are probably gonna be like, no, it doesn't have anything to do with that. I think that I think that regardless of what people say about what the other group of people think of us, this does not make us look good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
We're killing our own people. Now we're killing our own people in the streets on a regular basis, but this is putting it on Front Street. Like, you guys even do it so that these type of people get caught up in the crossfire, and it's just like too much of a story that's like, well, like, this is sad, you know what I'm saying? But it can easily be pointed back to, look what you guys are doing, you know what I'm saying, to like discredit us, even though we're not the ones doing it. It's just not a good look, you know what I'm saying?
It's not a good look, and I guess that's really what I was. It's not about the look. It's this is most similarly how I felt when we lost Nipsey, right? And I don't think that anybody's life is like worth losing type thing. Although if I were ever to inflict violence on somebody, it would be somebody like George, like the guy who shot Trayvon Martin. Like, I'm not trying to kill no other black people. I'm not trying to hurt no other black people. There's plenty of people. There's plenty of assholes out here to lay hands on. We just don't need to do it to other black people. But this hit similarly to Nipsey in this way, because it was like, okay, so it was much more hard to, like, for me to grasp the Nipsey thing, because actually that happened on my wedding anniversary, and it was just odd the way things happened. But I was very upset at the idea that someone intentionally shot Nipsey Hussle as if they didn't understand what he was meaning to our culture. Like, you're gonna shoot him, like not like shoot anybody, but like, not him. So
the sad thing is, people can be convinced that people can be convinced to do anything. But the crazy thing about that, and I got Tata G's comment up here because, girl, that's me right now. She said I had to take a step back. I was going down the rabbit hole of conspiracies, because my whole thing is, we still don't. Do we know anything about the dude that got that was responsible for Nipsey's murder? Have they given us anything else about that yet?
I don't know if he ever got a sentence, but the last I saw him, he was like going through his trial, and I feel like, okay, so here's
Ellen Storm did. I'm sorry, Faith. Hold on one second. Yeah, Ellen Storm did a bunch of videos, but this was a clip that I saw. I guess he like cut it out, or somebody cut it out. But it was just showing. It was just the girl saying that she was close to the Prince families, and they know her, so she didn't want to reveal herself. She, said that it wasn't. I believe she said it was an accident, and then she said that everybody got patted down to go in that event, and the only people that had weapons was his camp, Jay Prince's camp, I guess. And then people were saying that it was Quavo's fault and that Quavo left, but she said that he passed out and they had to help him get to the car. So I don't know what's going on. All of this stuff are very people's opinions around YouTube, and it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going, because people are going to be like talking about this for a minute. You know what I mean?
I guess and I know we could go down so many different rabbit holes.
Me too, girl. Me too.
I think my whole issue is, like, here's the thing to the gun holders out there.
Right? Oh, and then I'm sorry. Then she also said that it stemmed from a fight the night before somewhere else. So it wasn't over basketball. It wasn't over dice. Who knows? We don't know this lady. You know what I'm saying? It was a black screen. It wasn't nobody on camera. But there was a girl that went, I think there was a girl that went live on Instagram about it, saying that she was there. She may have been one of the people that had footage. But like I said, it's really easy to get it's really easy on YouTube to get turned around. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't know what your source is, or if the person's telling, like people are. That's why I'm just saying I don't know for a fact what happened because everybody's saying anything. You know what I mean? So,
well, here's my little half take or whatever on it, and then we can move on to the next topic, which is also sad but slightly less sad.
mm-hmm.
Uh, to the gun holders out there who
Hey
whether it was
Diddy.
whether it was intentional or whether it was a
Bullshit.
moment or whether it was whatever, it's just like it's not worth it. It can't be worth it to know that you took somebody that was needed. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not doing any good out here. Like and not that, if it was a gang member or if it was somebody who, had a gun and wanted to use it, like not that they're just like out there every day, like how can I do good in the world? But it's like you could have probably gotten more joy out of like a fight or like getting your adrenaline off some other way. Now somebody's gone that we needed in our culture, and it's not going to help anybody that he's gone. It's only
all right. Somebody
to...
throw me a rope so I can tie it around my waist so I don't get stuck down the rabbit hole. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Because did you just try to bite me, bruh? Roll out. Anyway, he mad because I put him down. But somebody tied a rope around my waist so I don't get stuck down here or whatever.
You going in? But she's going in, guys.
Okay. On the surface, that makes sense, right? That's logical. You know what I'm saying? But what if that's how it was supposed to look? Like, somebody unsuspecting would have to make the shot because for whatever reason, he's a threat, right? To whatever master plan that they have that we know nothing about. So it's this unsuspecting person. I mean, it's this unsuspecting person that is Takeoff. Then there's this other person that he don't even know is gunning for him right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh. They're living life and going on it as planned. And it was supposed to look like an accident and a chaos ensues and nobody knows what's going on or where the shot came from or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Multiple people got shot. So if somebody was trying to do something like that and get away with it for a purpose that is, let's just say, above our mere mortal thinking, right? It worked because it looks like an accident and we're all like,
oh, another black on black crime.
Yeah, but it's like
I don't want you to feel silly saying this.
All right, I'm coming up. Let me come up.
Wait a minute. Well, wait, stay down there. Wait, stay down there real quick. Real quick, I'm about to pull you back up. Stay down there real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Think about this. I don't think that it's like maybe that's not the exact thing that happened that you put your finger on it and Detective Demita Joe figured it out. Everybody can go home. Maybe that's not the exact thing, but I think we would be silly to think that those types of situations do not exist. So while, we laugh at ourselves for being, on these conspiracy theory, like tracks, I think it is valid for us to adapt to other possibilities because it can't just be what somebody told you all the time. Some of this shit gotta be, entertained because it is very easy to draw a narrative and say, there we go, Johnson, open and shut case. Is if we always take what is given to us and say, oh, well, it must be that because they said it, then that can't be the answer all the time either. So I definitely, I get what you're saying with the rabbit hole thing, but I also feel like, especially now with social media, we should be open to possibilities that are not being pushed as there.
Like, I'm not saying that,
it's so funny.
I'm not saying that, for every situation I have one of these thoughts, but I have seen situations where the media has directed us in the wrong place and it's been total opposite. For instance, when the DC sniper was out, everybody was scared for their life when they seen a white box truck. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, they were not in a white box truck. So all these times we just been sitting ducks because if it wasn't a white box truck around, we thought we was good. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, like, I just always think about stuff because I also know too that that if we have 100% of people, the 60% of people are going to believe what they see on the news. But you have that other 40% that's like, I know for a fact that that's not happening, whatever. And it is a lot of lies on the news, like, period. But, so that makes me question. And then, like, being employed at the places that I've worked at, it makes me question everything. It makes me be like,
all right, let's stop it
that
there.
looks like that, but that ain't really that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but we'll never know what really, really happened. I don't know, but see, the thing is, okay, that's what I was about to get to. Usually we'll never know what really, really happened, but now
it's different.
We got like detectives that are putting on their badges around the world. They're fake badges. You know what I'm saying? Because you cannot hide anything from a bunch of people on the internet that don't do nothing but search for shit. When I watched this dude find the majority of the people that were there at the bowling alley, I just was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this person hasn't even said anything, but there they are standing in the bowling alley. So I don't know what's gonna come of this, but I'm gonna read some of these comments. Tata G says, I don't think it was an accident and the people talking were paid to deflect. And that happens. That's my point. You know what I'm saying?
Goody says something that I think is real interesting because I don't know why I thought about this morning. It's a further down comment, but I literally thought about this person this morning, like when I was laying in bed, and for some reason it came to my mind, and I was like, why am I thinking about that? That was years ago, or wasn't it years ago? Maybe it was like a couple of years ago, but
yep.
So I was thinking about that girl this morning. I was thinking about the footage and her getting off the elevator and wandering into the thing. And I was like, was she running from somebody or like what was happening there? And
that's another one of the things that's under my like 10 cap tingling. Like,
that's what I'm thinking.
What really
though,
happened
right?
with that?
It's I'm not saying it's dangerous, but these are the things. And then somebody said something earlier that makes me realize that like we never really follow these stories to the end to see what happens and where the person ends up, where the case ends up, right? Like when somebody brought up what happened to Nipsey's, you brought that up. What happened to Nipsey's, a person who shot him, right? And it's like, I don't really know, but like I was so concerned about him dying. And then all of a sudden, I stopped following the story. Like I remember the guy's brother, like committed suicide or died somehow, and then I remember seeing him in like a box or something in a courtroom and thinking like, yeah, you're not going to make it because you took out one of the people we needed. and
that's what I was focused on in that case. Well, not case, but what I was focused on the Nipsey Hussle passing was how great of a person he was and how good things he did. And I was thinking about his kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that and Lauren London.
Yeah. So but my point here is that we never really see the story to the end because of our news cycle. And because once we get to, I guess, this point where it's all confusing, there's so many facts out there and we're like, just our brains can't take it. And then next week, something else is going to happen and we're not going to follow it. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. So we'll probably never know what actually happened. If it wasn't set up, this is the Matrix right here, because we're like, oh, okay, it could be this, it could be that. And now there's so much confusion that whoever really did it or whatever the real thing was, we might never know. So it's just one of those things. But what would help is if people who were killing Black people, like who were actually, what if everybody who would have committed a Black on Black crime just stopped for a second?
Okay, so that does
what's really happening.
That goes down another road too, though, because you have people who are, like I was saying, desensitized. They don't give a fuck, right? Like we have empathy, and we, when we see things like this happen, our heartstrings are pulled on, and we're thinking about, how sad it is, whatever. But you got some people who are not that way, and those people exist in the real world too, which is why a lot of this, they're heartless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you never know. Like they can't. Why would they put it down if they don't feel like they should? You know what I'm saying? So like that, there's a bigger thing to address, which is probably mental health, and just the way that people are like, it's like, think about it. Nobody really cared what we were doing when we were growing up in our houses. They just cared that our mother and father kept us in the house or kept us, kept control over us, right?
Yeah.
Nobody was coming to check to see if we were learning these skills, if we were doing this, if we were doing that, or whatever. And then you become that, adult, and now you're on your own. Now, for me, I care about putting a productive adult into society. So I wanted to make sure that he was around certain things and he learned this and he learned that. But then there's people who just never got anything or got, a lot of stuff that they shouldn't have gotten, probably abuse, mental abuse, and verbal abuse and things like that. And it's just like, scary when you think about it, that you really don't know what kind of people are going to be put into society, because everybody's situation is different. But I think a big thing is mental health. But I mean, like you were saying at first, like, you made a comment earlier about how, you were in your 20s and how much smarter you are now. And I definitely agree. Like, I can't say that I was, I definitely made mistakes, and I put myself in situations that now that I look back, like, thinking about who was there, thinking about, what I was doing. And it's just like, okay, those situations when you're that age seem just like, you just, you live in a fast life, you doing this, you doing that, whatever. You don't think about stuff like this. And I don't know. We just don't know what we're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? It's so much different now than it was back then. And I mean, they always say a bullet don't have a name on it, but like, I used to think about that a lot, because like, I'm gonna share this. There is somebody that I know whose nephew got hit by a straight bullet. He was 3 and minding his business in their house. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then that came out in the news the other day too. I think it happened to a lady. But it's just like, we just don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? But I think a bigger part of it is mental health. But I don't know. Y'all. I'm just rambling at this point because
Listen, it's a
sad
conversation.
news.
Like we said, this is a bigger conversation that we have time, resources, answers to right at this moment. But these are the conversations I feel like we need to be having amongst each other, amongst our friends and family. So we'll leave that there. We'll go on to our next topic, which leading to, it's interesting that you said,
Just Jay say, it's the grace of God that I'm here. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Okay, because I definitely was in some situations and around some people that I probably shouldn't have been around, somewhere in that point in my life or whatever. But she said most people don't think, and many have been saved. Like, they always say God protects babies and fools. You know what I'm saying?
Hallelujah.
So it's definitely some truth to that. But it's just like so crazy. And then when you think about it, young, and you have kids, oh my God, like, that's your heart in human form outside your body. You know what I'm saying? It's all good when you drop them off at school and you picking them up and they got to come home every day. But now that he's on his own, I'm even more fearful of, like, damn, he's out there in this crazy ass world. But I have to trust that, God has given me everything that I needed to give to him, and he's picked up whatever he needs to pick up to survive, and he's doing really good. But when shit like this happens, I just be like, bruh, when is it going to not happen like that? But I feel like this is probably going to lead them back into that gun law thing and use it as an excuse to harp on the fact that they need to stop the gun production or whatever it is that they want to do with the gun laws and keeping people from getting weapons. But
and I mean, this is, like I said, bigger conversation, but I have to say this, like, it's not necessarily the guns, it's the people with access to the guns, but it's also something else. It's the people, it's the thoughts that go through the minds before you pull the trigger. Like, I just want people to understand that, like, some of these people are not mentally insane. Like, whoever, and I don't know what happened with Takeoff, but like, they're just shooting their gun and they're not thinking.
Well, okay, so in this situation, they're saying that the first person that let off the shot was not, they didn't have control of it, apparently. Either they had their eyes closed, I don't know, but you would have to know who was shooting to know that they had their eyes closed. But I guess by, the fact that they're trying to make it an accident. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't even trust the people that are talking. We don't know these people. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I could bring somebody on my channel right now and be like, blah blah blah, and nobody. Well, people would probably, some people will probably like, whoever's in here probably will be like, who the fuck is this? But like regular random people that scan across these channels, sometimes people just take this information and be like, oh, it's true because such and such said this. But I will say, YouTube is better than the news because 9 times out of 10, things that you and mommy call me about, I've already seen on YouTube because
I
somebody was
agree.
talking about it. So I do think that, I really liked it when the quarantine first started and we can see what was going on in other cities when the George Floyd thing happened. So I think having it is important because if anything was to go down and we all got stuck in our houses, people that follow us, if we still had internet access, we could come on and be like, hey guys, where are you guys at? Check in. What do you have? Like we could possibly try to communicate. Now that is like a crazy ass.
No, it's not. You know what? Maybe
but
you
like,
just
what if that happened? You know what I'm saying?
Just listen. Let me just give you your flowers now.
Anyway, let me just make this. Hold up, you guys. Y'all have to roll with me on this because I do this a lot. Like I be thinking about other shit. Like, well, wait a minute. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? But when we went on quarantine, the news was not showing us what was really happening. Everybody knows that, like that we don't see everything or whatever. But I was able to follow this dude around and see actually what was going on. So anyway, all right.
I just want to give you your award for solving all of the Black crime issues. And the answer is, if you missed it, people, like, okay, so I'm making this up a little bit, but like, what if when a Black person gets shot, like everybody around with their camera just stops the person who shot them? Let's just grab this dude.
So I'm just trying to figure out how many people get shot in the process.
Can you imagine if you just took
because the thing is,
that was him.
even if they don't have mental health issues, there are some people that are just cold-hearted. You know what I'm saying?
It's a problem for me that somebody took a picture of the body, but they didn't take a picture of the shooter.
People take pictures at funerals. Like that irritates me too. Like we don't want to see that person in a casket. We would like to just remember that person how they were. It is not. I don't even feel comfortable having a picture of anything that's not live and vibrant in my phone. So
yeah,
you take a picture of somebody that that's a no. Like what are you doing? But that's what I'm saying. Like people are desensitized. Like to even do that. What I mean, I can't say what were you thinking, but your thought pattern is something else, because if something like that happened, like that has not happened in front of me, but I can imagine that I would not be thinking, let me go take a picture of the after effects. No, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? So
well, it's wild because that has happened in front of us before. Well, a couple of things. We've been in the vicinity of somebody getting shot, but you wouldn't.
We were not celebrity.
No, not no celebrity. But guess what we were doing? We were running the other way. So anyway, on that note, we'll leave that alone. That's the beginning of a conversation.
Rest in peace, Takeoff.
Rest in peace, Takeoff.
And positive vibes to his family and those that are around him. But I want to read Just Jay's comment. Look, I'm looking like an old lady. I got an eye doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I won't be doing this later. But did y'all cover the guy Toby and his girlfriend that deleted him? No, I gotta look that up. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Are they or is Toby? I think mine hasn't done as much dumb stuff as me, and I have the nerve to stay on him. Well, if you have that inkling, stay on them. Sometimes I'll be telling my son stuff. Listen, I'm repeating this because I feel like God just put it on my heart to say it again, just to make sure you get it. Oh well. Toby in Miami, dude was talking about Black women. His girlfriend was okay. No. Oh, it was like 60 times or something like that. I think I know what you're talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know exactly what that was. We didn't talk about that. We didn't cover that. All right. We're going to move off and take off now. We're going to go to a slightly less sad, but still sad situation. A reason I call it slightly less sad is because these people have the opportunity to stop themselves from having a tragic situation. But this is one topic I have to admit that I have unfortunately, it's not even like I've been following it. They just pop up in my feed, and I've been trying to get away from them. Like, I did not ever want to cover them on our show, but this recent thing that happened, I just want to talk about the actual like circumstance and not them. Anybody who's familiar with these two, they have a bunch of drama, a bunch of just dysfunction, toxic. Like, if you look up toxic relationship in the dictionary, you're gonna see this picture.
Right there, just like that.
This picture, this is it. Oh, what is a toxic relationship, mommy? This is it, right?
But this goes back to what I was saying. Like, nobody comes to your house to make sure that you're not being mentally abused and verbally abused, and making sure you're taught certain things or whatever. Like, you are the product of whatever you've been around, like however you process that stuff when you were becoming an adult. You know what I'm saying? And this situation is one of those. They are just toxic for each other.
Oh my gosh.
But the clip that you sent me did not. Okay.
No, I'm going to pull up that clip too. I just wanted to give the background of what I was about to speak on, because they're not in the clip that I'm going to ready to pull up. But what's happening here is that, you know, obviously, I think her name is pronounced Crisean.
Yeah.
Crisean Rock.
This part
is, you know, was on that show, and where he had all these women in this house, and he was like choosing them, and it was very like a really weird situation. And even they're having a different episode or like a different season of that show, and it's just so sad to see these women like fighting and doing all this. It's like they don't have anything else to do better with their lives. It's very sad. This actually caught my attention though last week when she went live. And she showed her face, and you could see that she had like bruises and stuff on her face. And she was mentioning in the live that she, you know, he was getting too comfortable punching her, right? Or something like this. And he was saying some things in the background too that were really, you know, whatever. Here's the thing. Like, she has, in my opinion, she has the ability to walk away if she wants to, and this is what is sad about it. But what really got me was the thing today, and that's why I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to talk about this." I did not want to talk about this. What really got me was this story that came out where Megan James, who used to be on Basketball Wives, and she looks good. I'm so glad that she's actually having a show now. So I guess she has like a podcast or something, but she interviewed Blueface's baby's mom.
Oh, Lord.
They're having a conversation in this clip about, and I could play it, but I think it's a little long. I don't know if you want me to play it, I can.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah, I think you should play it.
Okay. All right. So let me just refresh and then turn the sound on.
If Crisean was allegedly pregnant, that means he's probably fucking her raw dog too, right?
Okay, wait.
I mean, I can always...
Let's start it from the beginning.
Like raw dog? For sure.
Oh, dang. I missed it. Okay, hold up. Sorry.
You stupid.
Okay, here we go.
Fucking your baby daddy like raw dog? For sure. And... do you think that, I mean, if Crisean was allegedly pregnant, that means he's probably fucking her raw dog too, right?
I mean, I can only speak on my shit.
I'm saying allegedly.
Allegedly. I'm sure.
So you don't ever be scared for your vagina?
I mean, I ain't tripping. If something was happening to me, I would know.
Okay.
You know? That's
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or whatever they do is what they do.
Right, but like, have you ever seen that little thing on Instagram where they stick the cucumber in the dirty water and then they put it back in the clean water?
Right. I mean, I'm good.
You're good? Okay, as long as you're good, we good.
I'm good. So I ain't tripping off none of that. Like, what they do over there ain't got nothing. I don't want to.
It does have something to do with you, though.
It do, but it don't. I mean,
like, not like personal. Well, I don't know. Like, that's your body. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I'm not. Like, I think
real.
that everyone's thinking like, oh, we doing it every day or something. Like, it's not consistent. So.
Oh, it's just every blue moon.
Yeah, when I'm feeling like it, like if that's what it is. Like,
so the dick come on your time, not on his time.
For sure. Period.
So he never call you in the middle of the night and be like,
well, of course he do. But
and you be like, huh?
Sometimes I'll be like, not answer.
So are you fucking your baby
daddy?
That's
okay.
Okay, so first I just want to give a shout out to Megan for the shade. She had that.
She was on point. I enjoyed her.
But I do have to say, she looked like she do that.
She looked like she
look
do
at
what?
her. She looked like she just don't
Oh,
care.
That's horrible to say about someone.
I mean, she wasn't even listening.
Oh my
It
God.
didn't seem like.
That's horrible to
But-
say about someone. Listen, but I
Now,
get
I
what you
think-
say. Look, all right, let me say this.
So
though.
he's still going back to her, and he with Crisean.
But he's not hiding it. But this is the thinking. This
So
is
they
what I wanted
sister
to say.
wives.
This is what, at least with sister wives, you kind of like keeping it in a conglomerate. But this is what I'm getting at. The problem is bigger. We're still in the topic of bigger conversations.
Just
The
Jay.
problem is bigger than the act of going back and forth between women. The problem is that she's thinking that because it's only once in a while, it doesn't bother
Sorry,
her.
I'm laughing at Just Jay comments. Let me
It's
get out the
really
comments.
sad. You know, the whole situation is sad. Like the Crisean Rock thing that she's getting, like having a domestic violence situation. But this sort of thinking is the thinking of people. And I feel like when Megan brought it up was the first time that maybe she even thought about it, because then she started like
Probably.
backtrack and say, oh, well, this is not all the time. Like if you feel the need to defend that part, then that to me is some sort of indication that like, oh, you think that this is something that you can, you know, like get away from, like oh, it's not all the time though. Like, oh yeah, I get what you mean, but yeah, sure. But you know, it's just only every
Yeah, but like okay,
that
so
doesn't actually matter.
This is a great example though, because you probably care how you come off on interviews, right? She probably wasn't even okay. You know what? This probably was the first time she had this conversation. But this is my point about people don't come, like nobody can make sure that you got these lessons or whatever. Like this question should have been like a short answer. You know what I'm saying? You sleep with your baby daddy unprotected? Nope. I don't sleep with my baby daddy. Moving on, next question. Because like, what are you doing? They're in the public eye. You see they have a toxic relationship going on. But then again, I mean,
they're not the only two. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's out here raw dogging it with God knows who. We just saw a few months ago the whole thing with the girl that had a disease, what was it, AIDS or something? It's just like this.
Oh yeah, Gina too.
This is out here, people. And the fact that she was like, I feel like she did have some sort of awareness for how she was coming off, which is why she tried to backtrack it and be like, oh, but it's not all the time though. Like, I think she does have some awareness of how that sounded
well,
bad.
no, okay. So sometimes
like it's how you think and feel about yourself. And I'm just like, what in the low self-esteem is happening in this world where you guys are going back to this guy who doesn't care about
I don't think she got it then either. I think sometimes you could talk to somebody about something and they like, okay, I'm just gonna go along like I know what I'm talking about or whatever, but then they say one thing and you're like, oh, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And so when she said that, to say, oh, it's not like it happens all the time, you sound crazy, because all you need is one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? So but
this whole situation is going badly. It's going worse and worse. Like I thought the Crisean stuff was bad, and it is bad, but like having these elements that are being brought in, it's just a super, super dysfunctional situation. I don't see how this can end well. And I just hope the best for these women, and I hope that they get out of there as soon as they can, because it's just becoming more and more tragic every time I see one of these stories. So enough with the bad news. We're gonna go on to some good stuff now. Let's move into this next story. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you want to read some comments?
Said that's the ID channel episode where the lady got the package from her boyfriend. See, that's disgusting.
What happened? Say that again.
The lady got a house in Virginia from her boyfriend. House in Virginia.
Got it. No, I get it.
After I heard something about the mama getting kicked in the head, I was done. Right. That was crazy too. I haven't been able to like wrap my brain around them, because I saw her on the phone with his mother, and everybody it's just like not a good situation. So I thought it was weird that she was Well, I'm not gonna say that. What I'll say is that it's just, it's unfortunate because even if they do have somebody in their family that is willing to step in and be like, listen, you guys need to stop that. It's nothing you could tell people, at that age.
Yeah.
They're gonna just go do what they want to do, and I guess learn the hard way or whatever. So
yeah, I just hope it doesn't end like super tragically.
see, now this is why I ain't trying. Come to find out, he had it way before he met her, and he had a wife. That's crazy. Wait, Crisean, I mean, Blueface beat up Crisean's dad.
Yes. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, so I've been listening. I've been exposed to way too much of this. We're gonna move on to this next topic after this, but yes, it got really bad. They like had this whole blow up, and it was on social media. And somebody got footage of them after they had they were outside of some hotel or restaurant or something, and he like knocked her dad out or something, and then she left with him. And then she was like, yeah, it's gotten that bad. And I you can speculate and say whatever, but like she has had conversations with people. Like I do see something valuable in her. She seems to be just lost. Like I see that she's a person, because... and she's not. And this is gonna sound weird, but I don't think that she's stupid. I think she has the capacity. I'm talking about Crisean now. I'm not talking about the other girl. Okay,
so that other girl, she's retarded.
I think Crisean has the capacity to be somebody good, somebody great. I think she has a drive. I think she works really hard. I think she's really she's a good one, but I think she's very lost right now, and she keeps getting tattoos on her neck, and I want her to be free, man.
So
I literally prayed for her. I literally did, because I was like, man, God,
that's all you can do, because this is why I think that we need to take a test to get a driver's license, but we don't have to take any test to be parents. You know what I'm saying? And so you get the hand that you dealt with, and the reason why you think that she's just lost is because otherwise, right? I mean, stuff that she probably doesn't know. You see the worth in yourself, and you can see the worth in another person. If nobody's ever taught her that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's lost, and she's not even looking for a way out. She thinks that is love. You know what I'm saying? And that's the unfortunate part about it, because like I said, nobody can tell you anything or whatever. You just have to go through it on your own. And it's like, I just feel like fast forward 20 years, you know what I mean? And she's going to be doing motivational talks about whatever she learned and whatever she makes it. If she makes it through it, because that's crazy, but because of how we grew up, nobody ever better put their hands on me that's a man. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't tolerate it in any form or fashion, but there are people who do. And so then, you don't know how to, it's like, that affects me. That affects me. And that's why I'm looking at her like she don't see it. You understand what I'm saying? But because I've been through whatever we've been through, it's just like, okay, well, I'm not fucking with this, right? But I know that because of experience. So it's like, she probably didn't have a lot of experiences. And somehow she thinks that is love. And Lord help them if they have a baby. I hope they do not bring a baby into this, because that's what I'm saying too. Like, they don't got to take no test to see if they fit parents. We already know they probably won't be, but what would those children be going through?
Oh Lord, let's just whatever. Good Lord, please.
I feel you, Jack. Jack. I shouldn't laugh, but this is insane. But it's kind of, sometimes it's like, dang, you gotta laugh to keep from crying and some of this stuff, because this is like, how do we fix these kinds of things? You know what I'm saying? Because even in your area, you can work with young youth or whatever. But I remember I used to ride the train, and I hated when the youth was on the train, and then it started getting crazy to where they were taunting people and doing stuff to people. And I was like, Lord, that I can't take this, because if somebody's child does that to me, then I'm going to be in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the footage of some lady getting beat up? Oh my God. I was so shocked by that. I was like, oh my God, that could have been me, because I have been known to say things like that to young people. Like, I've actually done that before downtown in the Chinatown station, and it works. If you talk to somebody like their grandmother, sometimes it works. It's just like you can catch somebody off guard real quick with a real loud and firm, like, young man, right? And then they just
no.
I've done that.
I never said anything like that.
I would not do that now because
I wouldn't. But I don't think I would say young man. I'd be like, I don't know. But I don't talk. I don't talk to other people's kids.
I don't either.
Clearly, if you're on the train
Especially
acting like an asshole, then we might have to duke it out if it goes to that. So I was just like, you know what? I can't ride the train because no.
But again, so that's the situation where I feel like. And I don't know. It would just have to be something where people had to just be black together or feel the vibe of others. Because I like to think,
bro, that's so. What if that was mommy?
Okay, that really upsets me. But I'll say this. I would like to say this. If this were somebody that I love, let me just call on whatever Holy Spirit so that I can get a hold of that. If there are 4 kids beating someone up on a bus near you, that you would be one of the 4 people handling the kids, right? Like if there's more people on the bus than kids, then that shouldn't happen. You get me? Like somebody need to take off their belt. Somebody need to be like,
in that situation, I don't know because I don't fuck with public transportation for that reason.
I'm not going to be the first one out of my seat. But I want to say this out loud. I'm not going to be the first one out of my seat, but if 3 other people got up to help the lady and I could see that we outnumbered them, then I might just try to protect the lady.
You don't know who the fuck is on public transportation, and that's
I can't.
For that situation, I can't. You know what I'm saying? But if I was there, I could imagine what I would think would work. Right, I wouldn't say young man. I wouldn't say that.
No, listen.
I probably would be like,
once.
I probably would have gotten the bus driver's ass for real. And then if one of them would have said something to me, then I would have had to turn into Ricardo. But I would have probably been like, you really gonna let these kids do this or whatever? And then as soon as one of them said, "Shut your ass up, old lady," then I'd have been like, "Who the fuck is the old lady?"
See, look, this is crazy. Because I also don't know what exactly she said to them before she got beat up. Because she said something to them.
Nigga, they had her hands and her feet. It's no excuse. Like, and if I would have said something to child participating in something like that, oh my God. I don't know.
Apparently she said something to them to the effect of stop the cursing, right? So they were minding their business, but they were just loud and cursing. So sometimes you just got to put your earphones in and let that ride. I'm not saying she deserved that, but
that's what I would have told mommy. I'd have been like, why did you say something to them? Now I got to go find these people, you know what I'm saying? And slap their parents.
That doesn't happen to anybody, that's just, it was sad to see. Anyway, on to better news. Wakanda forever. Black Panther is coming out next Thursday. Veterans Day.
Me either, just Jay. I'd have had to turn on my crazy switch or something, but they probably wouldn't. I mean, I would have been laying there like the lady, but maybe she had a reason why she was. But it was just despicable how they did it. Like, whose kids were those? I want to know who the parents are.
Yeah, and like, that's not cool. Like, they shouldn't have done that. And I'm sure it was one of those things. I did a lot of things when I was younger. I never beat up a old lady.
You actually put your hands on a grown up and helped get her off but then, like I said, that's why I didn't become a teacher, because like I said in the beginning of this, we don't know what people are learning in their homes. You know what I'm saying? Or not learning. And that if they're doing this at this young age, like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Sometimes though, so I don't know what happened before that, and I don't think that she deserved that, whatever she would have said. But sometimes it's about I can't even imagine being another passenger on that bus and not even if I wasn't doing something about it, but like the bus driver, like all these.
That's why I said I would have gotten to the bus driver.
And he didn't lock the door.
What are you doing? You're driving, and then he had to open the door.
It's so that makes me wonder what happened beforehand, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Like, I like to think that
I would interject to say this though. Our mother, your mother, your mother has been known to have crazy moments when she gets mad enough, right?
Yeah.
Or irritated about something else. Who knows? Like, she could have very well been the type of person to be like, y'all need to stop cussing. And I would have been like, Ma, why? Why?
I don't know if she would do that.
But at the same time, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter how irritated she was. You do not have the right to put your hands on this person. So that part right there would have gotten me to the point where I'd have been looking at the bus driver and I would have just had to be arguing with him. Like, what the fuck? Are you going to stop the bus? Are you going to, what if somebody was attacking him? He got to have somebody to call, right? So I just think that was crazy that nobody else was saying anything, at least
why
to him.
Wouldn't anybody else have done anything? Like, what has to take place for us to be like those people?
I mean, a lot of times people just be like, I'm minding my business. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened on that last 9/11 plane, but speculation has been that they've band together and they let the plane go down because they killed the one guy or whatever, right? Or the terrorists. I don't know that to be true, but I like to think a world exists in which someone would come to the aid of someone and need like that, especially if they didn't do anything wrong and you could just see yourself in that person and say like, hey, you're not going to put your hands on that old lady, right? Because if it would have been like, it looked like to be like 4 or 5 kids, if there were 4 or 5 adults on that bus, they could have overpowered those kids if they had all been working.
So I don't think that, just know how crazy it is out here. Like I said, the hands-on people part is the problem. So I'm not.
Well, that's what I would just be saying. Know that if I'm in that lady in that position, the words out of my mouth are not going to be to the kid. First of all, it'd be hilarious, but I'll be like, y'all just go sit there and let this happen. They're kicking my ass. Help me! Somebody help me! That's gonna be what I'll say. And then if that doesn't do it, then I guess
God. I pray I never have to go out like that because that's crazy. But you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, people got to catch public transportation if they don't have cars, and a lot of old people are doing that. But I would have had to fucking cuss the bus driver out. That would have been my best bet because I'm not worried about the kids. If they jump into this argument, I could be like, who the fuck y'all talking to, and this, that, and the other, and then I start pointing out people on the bus. This is what I think in my imagination. I don't know what I really do, but I do know for sure that I'd be up at the front of the bus driver, like, so you just going, I'm going to record you doing nothing about that, and then see what he could do, because that it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about stuff in tiers. I'm not about to touch none of them teenagers because I don't know if they got weapons. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's another thing.
They already bold touching that person. So in my mind, I would just be like, okay, let me talk to the person who I think is in charge, and then we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? But I just think
it's a tough situation. It's sad that we have to think our way through this because I don't think that this would have happened like 20 or 30 years ago, right? Like, we all had enough sense to not do that to our elders. You know, I don't know. Anyway, all right, on to this next story because this one's quick. Wakanda Forever. Black Panther is coming out next Friday, 11/11. I'm going to be there. We already bought our tickets. I'm excited. This is the sequel to the first Black Panther. Oh, wait, what's this? Her
brother-in-law's a bus driver in New York. He be trying to get home.
Yeah,
but y'all got to get off my bus. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man, I'm just here to do my job, and then I'm out.
That's unfortunate that people be doing shit like that, but I feel like that was in DC though. DC,
I think so too, for some reason.
Also crazy.
All right, look, we got to move on because we got a couple more topics, and it's
sorry.
Okay, no, it's okay. So that was a quick one. I did listen to a few interviews of the people involved in this. So Ryan Coogler did an interview at CBS the other morning, and he was just talking about the vibe they had on set and how, it was their tribute to Chadwick, and I am really looking forward to this, even though I know I'm gonna cry. Rihanna's single came out. I love it. I feel like this is gonna be one for the books. I'm excited to go see it. He also said that this is kind of like, he felt sad because it felt final. It felt like, man, I'm never gonna get to work with him again, but It is what it is. I'm excited for this movie because I was really happy with the first one, and I know this one's going to be good too. So, and it's just fun to have like
November 11th.
November 11/11/22, and it's a
Okay.
Friday. So we already got our tickets. We going midday.
I know that's right.
I already put it on my calendar too. If anybody from work is watching, that's right. I took off work to go see a movie. See y'all later. So anyway, okay, so next topic. And now we're just on the up and up because I just want to, let's lighten the mood after we cover so many sad topics, right? This one's a good one. I saw this today. And it's so funny because I just made a joke about this the other day to James, and then he told me today that it actually is a thing. I was like, are you kidding me?
That's
so
right.
Jeff Bezos, because I was like, how much? Because okay, everybody knows the stuff that's happening with the Washington Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins, with all the things that are happening around the sexual harassment lawsuits and and they were talking about the fact that the owner is going to be bought out, and I was like, he's never going to let that happen. But then recently, in the past couple of days, it's been like, oh well, he might, you know what I mean? He's been in talks with like Bank of America or something that he's going to sell it. And then we were like, oh, who could buy it? So then I asked James, like, how, because James knows everything about sports there ever was to know. And I was like, how much is the team? And he was like, $6 billion. And I was like, oh, in my mind, I was thinking about Jay-Z because I was like, he's already taking over. Like, I remember all that he got when he started working with the NFL a few years ago as their music director or whatever his title is. But then if you think about it, that year they had like J-Lo and Shakira on the halftime. And then last year's halftime show was bomb. It had Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar. Man, they had so many people. It was such a mind-blowing show. And I was like, I know that was Jay-Z's doing. I just feel it in my bones. And I was like, I can't wait until he gets the opportunity to become an owner because there are no black football team.
But there could be, and I wish they would go ahead and get that together. And
I do know that Byron Allen has been trying for a long time, and Byron Allen has been in media forever.
He bought a network recently too.
He bought the Weather Channel. He owns the Weather Channel.
He bought something else too, though.
So he's good.
He bought a multi-million-dollar house recently that is bomb.
Look, Byron Allen is doing the damn thing.
I talked about him on my What's Going On show.
For some reason, this right here makes me excited. And maybe it's because I live close to the stadium and I would love to see Jay-Z and Beyonce at a game. What'd you say?
You see Just Jay's comment on the screen?
No, who fucking the Commanders? I don't know. I still have like 7 Redskins shirts.
Oh, goodness.
It's cool.
Yeah, because it sounds like a dumbass name. It's like an arena football name, but whatever. I do like the logo though, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I like, it's gonna warm. In a few years it'll just be like normal, I guess.
I'm still rocking my Sean Taylor jersey though, so
yeah, but I do want to be respectful to other cultures, which is why I went on ahead and I don't wear my Redskin stuff anymore. I don't want to, I'm not gonna keep saying it, but yeah, anyway. On to the next. So my point here is that this would be huge because I was like, I don't know if Jay-Z has like $6 billion liquid, but he might. You don't really know people's net worth just because you think you know it. And I'm sure he has access and relationships. This is what I was thinking to myself like the other day. So then when this came out today, I was like, oh, I manifested this. You're welcome, everyone. So I don't even know. Listen, I want to live in the moment because this is not a sealed deal. It's something that's, being rumored. So it might not even actually be, this acquisition may never even come to fruition. But I just want to live in this moment of possibility to think that Jay-Z owns the Washington Commanders. And whenever I decide to go to a football game, he's going to be there, with Beyonce, and they're gonna have.
Hell no, he's not gonna be there.
They're gonna be there, and they're gonna be in the box, and then Beyonce's gonna be like, "Faith, is that you? I have a beer," and I'll be like, "Oh, I'll be right up." So anyway, that's
you see Just Jay's next comment. Just Jay is a comment ninja. She be having the funny comebacks. She said, "Auntie Jay got it."
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
I'm excited about that being a possibility.
Yeah, that's good
even
news.
though it's it's nothing set in stone.
We'll see what
All right,
happens.
2 more, and then these are all good. I saw this today. This warmed my heart. I am about everything Tabitha Brown that I can get.
Mhm.
In fact, the other day I found myself. I didn't do this on purpose intentionally, but I was watching YouTube on the screen, right? And you know how they'll have like a recommendation, like why don't you watch this? And I wasn't really, watching you know how you just got something on and you're doing something else. So I think I was either like in my bullet journal or I was doing something that I wasn't really paying that much attention, so it didn't matter to me what was playing. And she has this show called Tab Time, which is like a kid show. And I turned that thing on. I said, whatever. And then, a few minutes later, I found myself.
It's a really good show.
Into the show. I mean, I wasn't like, I didn't know the songs to be singing the songs, but I was like looking at it. And it was about like fear or something. And I was like, yes, Miss Tab. I feel sad too. Like I was into it. But this is like me, I love Sesame Street. I love all kinds of stuff like that. So I was really excited that she is getting these flowers because she just puts so much positive. Yes, she gives so much positivity, and this to me is an example of how you can win being positive. I just love her. I can't get enough of her. Everything
she was laughing and crying.
I love it.
You gonna play it? Start it over. We could just play it. You don't have to play the whole thing if you don't want to, but I think.
Let me.
Hello there. I just found out that I have been nominated for an Emmy for Tab Time.
I'm loving her puff.
She is loving it. I love it.
I just had some dental work done and my mouth is sore, but oh my God. Tab Time has been nominated for an Emmy. I can't even get, like, to me, that is the win. Oh my God. Okay, that girl put it together, girl. I can't believe it, but I can't believe it. Y'all, oh my Lord, okay. Not one, but 2 Emmy nominations. One for me as Miss Tab, as the host of the show, and the other one for Outstanding Preschool Show. So, oh my God. I was like, as soon as they come, I said, hang up, I got to tell the people while it is happening in real time, because it's so important to share this with y'all, because y'all the ones that be making it happen with me. So thank y'all. I gotta call my daddy. I'm nominated for an Emmy.
I know that's right.
So I like her. Well, I love her.
I love her too.
That was tight. And Just Jay says she always has a happy face. She has a sweet spirit. Yes, I think that too. And Tasa G says they down her so bad for retiring her husband. I was upset at that too, because I'm like, let that lady live her life. You know what I'm saying? Like, they called her, what she say? They called her an M and everything. Called her M and all. I don't know what the M stands for. Mammy? I don't know. If it's not Mammy, I feel bad saying it. But anyway, they were mad that she did that. And that was when Wendy had spoke out, and she handled Wendy with such class.
Oh, that was delicious. I saw that. I was like, wow, let me take some notes.
I haven't seen them in the store either, but I ordered it from Amazon.
Oh, I got that thing. The spices. I haven't seen it in the stores. Yeah, me neither. But the spice is good. I put it on fish. I put it on chicken sometimes.
She got my eyes watering. Cut it off.
I know. Same here. It's like hard to watch because it's like I feel it, and I normally I don't like it when people be crying on the internet because it's like, come on. But this was different because I do understand why she wanted to come with the full like emotion of it, because it's like she started on the internet. And that's how she got, the status that she got. She just kept going back into the beginning of the conversation tonight when we talk about people who just decide to go for it and it works out.
Listen,
and so she's
she's
definitely
the
she's
epitome of
definitely one of that. It's
because
like,
I
oh,
watched
let's see
her.
what happens.
I started watching her when she was in her dining room reviewing some field roast sausages. It's a vegan sausage. It's actually not a bad vegan sausage either. It tastes more meaty than other ones. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But she started with that. And then she had that it took off with that vegan BLT that she was this was called the TTLA from Whole Foods. Like, but it's so crazy. But yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Like, you just start doing what you're doing. You don't know where it's gonna go. She done had TV shows off of this. She has her TV show, but she's been on other TV shows and other things that she's been doing. And then she opened up the Kill My Name restaurant. That wasn't nothing that she set out to do in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Look, she did that. She got another cooking show called Complicated.
Complicated, yeah.
It's like it's not tournament style, but it's like a competition show where they cook vegan food, and then she always has like two other judges in the show that throw little curveballs like, well, I don't like this and I don't like that. So the chefs have to make whatever the ingredients that they don't, and sometimes it's not like you can't use this. It's like one person came on there and he's like, I don't like any kind of vegetable. And I was like, I'm gonna do that on a vegan show.
They did it though.
But they did it because they said like they made the vegetable taste good. And so she got that. She got
so for that I watched that and I watched that and I did a little review on but I did it on Relationship Entertainment Television. But one of the things that I found out when I was looking into that is that they tried to change her. That she actually came on and did a video on Instagram about it, how they, she was like, well, if you want me to change this and that, then you don't want me. You know what I mean? So the show is a good show, but you could tell it's something missing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I think that it's because of her probably trying to fight back and forth with them about just letting her have her own creative flow versus them trying to change the way she dresses, talks, whatever.
Okay, I guess I could. In retro, I could see what you're saying, and now I'm going to go back and look at it again with the stronger eye.
I'm still happy for her though.
I'm happy for her too, and she's getting all the goods that she deserves. Last topic for tonight is a shout out to Moss for Living. We get sea moss from this young lady. She makes it into a gel for us, and my husband is like so into it. I'm into it too, but like we put it in our smoothie. Sometimes we'll just take like a spoonful of it, and it does give you energy. And she makes it taste really good. And this is some
applesauce.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. But she's local. So I put this up here because she's, you can follow her on Instagram. And
ship too?
I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. Maybe she does. But this is her Instagram. Feel free to DM her. I can vouch for the product myself. I have some right here. This is the elderberry flavor. She got me hooked on the she had the strawberry one she used to make. She hasn't made that in probably like a year now, but then we were getting the mango flavor. I really like that one. I haven't tried this one yet because this is a new bottle. And you got to keep it cold though, and I've had it out for quite some time, so I need to put it back. But it's still cold. So
how much are her jars?
I want to say they're $40. James goes and gets it, so I'm not really sure. Okay. I think this is a $40 jar, and this would typically last us, I think, 2 weeks, maybe even 3. But
yeah, though mine used to last 3 weeks. I only had cinnamon and then I had regular, but I used to mix it in applesauce and sometimes oatmeal. Applesauce was the best because you really couldn't sometimes it has like a sea flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like after when you swallow, you don't get a flavor. But
this one does not have that. Whatever she's doing to
it, if it's mixed with fruit or whatever, it doesn't.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you were
or
using
something like that.
Right.
But I had this was back when when we first got in quarantine. I had found a girl and I was going to get jars from her every 3 weeks. It's just so I would order it, then she would make it, and then I would go meet her at Costco around Mommy's Way or around Yahweh now, and then I would just keep it. Me and Earl would do it, but then I started to not make the smoothies anymore. Then I didn't have anything to put it in, so I got some in pill and like capsule form, so that I don't have to worry about if I make a smoothie, do I take it or whatever? I start feeling bad because I was wasting it. But anyway, that's not here. That's neither here nor there. But let me follow her, Moss for Living, because I'm gonna try it out.
Yes, everybody follow her. You know, if you are local, tag, or not tag her, but see what her prices are. I'm pretty sure it's like $40, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, she's good. Her product is good. And just want to shout out a Black person doing good business in our local area. And I'm very, I don't know her personally, James does, but I can vouch for her product. And I'm proud of all Black people doing amazing things like this. So this one is even more.
That's why they mad at us, because we could actually probably sustain our own city. We have people that know how to do hair, people that know how to fix cars. Like as a culture of people, we have somebody that knows how to do everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we could completely barter a whole community's thing.
We could do it.
I'm telling you, but if we had to do it, we'll find out then.
But we need to do eval tests at the door. Everybody's not gonna be able to get in. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And you're gonna have to, like not let old people get beat up on the bus. And that's just as a final note for me. Look at this face. If you ever see me struggling or somebody's attacking me, help me. I would help you, especially if you called out to me and asked for help. Like you gotta think, like if somebody's near you and they're like, "Why are you letting this happen to me?" You are being called to action. So that's the thing I'll leave you with. Like maybe we just need to start calling people to action. Like no more.
So I did have a situation the other day. So I don't get into people's situations if I don't know them. But if I feel like it could be something crazy, then so I went to the gas station. It was the middle of the day. It probably was like 3 something. And I parked and I got out, like I pulled up at the gas pump. I got out, and then this girl pulled up behind me, and there was another girl in the car. And then there was another lady on the other side with a truck. She was talking to some dude, right? Whatever. I couldn't find something. I had to get out the car, and then something was prolonging me from putting my car into the thing to start the gas pumping. So I get out and I'm getting ready to do that. The girl behind me had just like put her gas in the pump, and the guy was finished talking to the lady, and the lady had driven off, right? So he's standing in his car, maybe like, 60 feet away. And he like, "Hey, how you doing? Such and such." And so I don't respond when people say, "Hey," or "Hi," or "Excuse me," or whatever. You're going to have to get right in front of me and be like, "How you doing, ma'am?" Because I'm not turning around or nothing.
Especially not at the gas station.
I have trained myself to just not be responsive to anything. I look when I want to look. But anyway, so I'm just pumping my gas. So I was like, he ain't talking to me or whatever. And then so I heard the girl say, "Do I know you?" And he was like, "Yeah, Tasha friend." And she was like, "Okay." And so she turned back around, was like, I could tell that she was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" And so I was like, I remember when I first pulled in, I saw him standing at his car, and then he walked up. He must have walked up to the lady, because I told you he was talking to this lady at the truck by the time this girl pulled up. So I'm playing back everything in my head, like, all right, he was already here when I got here. Didn't really look like they were together when I first got there, but then he was over there talking to the lady. Now this girl just got here after me, and so I was like, all right, he probably don't know her. So then I started like cleaning trash out my car, because I was like, I'm not about to pump no gas. I was like, but just in case he's trying to do something crazy, I'm not going to leave them over here by themselves. So I didn't get in it, but I just made sure that I
like paying attention,
because they were younger than me. But I mean, I don't know what I could have done, but the fact that I was still there watching, or whatever. But yeah, I don't try to get into people's situations, but I definitely will do something to revert it or divert it or whatever, like the bus thing. I may not touch the people, but I'm gonna alert somebody or whatever. If not, I'll just have to call 911 or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But anyway,
let's just advocate for more people to start taking pictures of attackers and taking pictures of people, because if this is the last thing that they see, maybe we'll catch some of them.
All right, let's close this out. But I do want to say this. Tata G said she wouldn't retire her husband only because he gets on her nerves. So Faith, would you retire James?
Oh my God, that is so true. Well, so I would if we had well, we will because we're getting ready to buy a house. But like, as long as I can put him away in a room and access him when I need him, I will retire him for sure. But like right now, like he gets on my nerves so bad when we have to work together, but he already knows. And we have such a good relationship where I can tell him when he's getting on my nerves and he can be like, okay. And then sometimes just saying it out loud just solves it. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I would definitely retire James though, because he would do the same thing for me. And then he could, do something that he loves to do that, is impactful to the world, as opposed to just, like we're all just working for the money. So yeah, I would definitely retire him.
That's what's up. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Again, as usual, thank y'all for riding with us through all the bumps and the craziness. I don't think we had no freezing issues this time. That was
just a unicorn tracking me jump.
I really appreciate y'all for coming through and checking us out. We had the Plaintiff Jane in the building, and she brought her girls Just J and Tata G. Ellen B was in the building. Goody was in the building. I love y'all. Faith, do you have any last words to say?
I don't. I just wanted to thank y'all again the same way that she just did. And I hope y'all keep continuing to come back. We're going to have more topics. We actually had other topics that we could cover tonight, but we're going to have more topics. And something about to pop off next week. And we're going to be on top of that too. So
who the hell knows what's happening next week? I'm almost scared to go into
I need to just bring me some good news to report on here. You know what I'm saying? Another Black billionaire, or some cure to some disease, or something amazing in the Black community. That's what we want to be reporting on. So hopefully that's what we'll be talking about next week.
Yes. So anyway, y'all make sure y'all like, share it if you feel, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, but I know all of you are probably subscribed already. So we are going to close this out. I want to make sure that you guys follow us on IG. Mine is by Demita Joe, and Faith's is wait, let me just make sure if that's right.
Let's go to the profile, shall we? Here we go. There I am.
Yes, I'm a unicorn, or yes, I am a unicorn.
It's yes, I'm a unicorn 24/7. It's right here. That's me, and that's what you'll see. You'll see a picture of some Sharpie highlighters. And this is what I do. It's called like pin porn or something. I don't know. I made that up. I don't think that's a real thing. But it's like, and that sounds weird because it's not like that. It's not sexual. It's just I love pins. So, okay. So now I just made myself sound crazy. But anyway, this is my channel. You can see like I have another podcast with my husband, and I just cover like productivity planner stuff, everything, process planning, pins, all that stuff. So yeah.
Yes.
Me. Anyway.
So y'all make sure y'all follow her and follow me. I got a couple of different things going on. As you know, I've been working out. I need to update my fit vlog because I've been recording the footage, but I just have to find time to edit it and put it up. So that people can see that I have, changed a little bit. Now it's funny because people always be like, you want the fast results when you work out. And I'm like, it's not been fast results, but I can definitely see a difference. So I'm going to work on having another video where I can like have my me back 3 months ago and then me now. Still got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? Birth is still here. It's my stomach for those you guys that don't know. But the legs is looking good, and we working on these arms and shoulders and stuff. So I can already see that my shoulders are not as out of shape as they used to be a couple of months ago. Anyway, we're going to talk to you guys next time. Thank you for coming by. Okay, bye.
Bye.